Hi everyone, this is Lauren coming at you from the break zone with a deck tech video going over the winner of the Malaga Spain regionals at Shark Games. So this deck was Buckaboom that was piloted by Ruben Gutierrez Nieto. So congratulations, man, you've got a amazing aggro deck that looks like a ton of fun to play. So let's go over some of his card choices. So just to give you a quick intro, this deck is a bit of the Final Fantasy VI package, a little bit of the monsters in there too. So the ice discard and the water monsters package, Tomberries for combat tricks, and Buckaboo to just screw down that vice and slow them down with Drago for bounce and a couple more dull freeze effects. So let's get started with one of your value cards. We're talking about Mira. All of your monsters are 2 costs or less. Keep in mind that your Goblin is your only fire card, so you're not going to be using Mira for anything regarding playing Goblin onto the field. But for all the other ones, being able to cast a Buckaboo for 1 and forcing your opponent to discard 2 cards to play any character is a huge amount of value. Next up, we've got Realm. She's a partially monster deck that really needs to get those Tomberries up early, as well as Buckaboo. So being able to dig into your deck and get those cards out is going to help you out a lot. And later on, if you need to have a bigger forward out and Realm's a little too small, go ahead and turn your monsters into forwards. Next, we've got Lock, part of that FF6 package. Sometimes you just need to, you're going to be able to get his first ability to trigger most of the time. If you don't count Lock, you've got 15 Final Fantasy VI forwards in your deck, so meeting that requirement of having 2 Final Fantasy VI characters is not going to be that difficult. On top of the fact that whenever he attacks, you'll be able to discard card from your opponent's hand, and the special might seal you the game. Shelky, glad to see her back. She's always fun to see around. She's an aggro card that gives you a decent amount of value. Adding her with Mira or Realm is going to give you a whole lot of value. So go ahead and play her out, get a free card out of it, and discard a card from your opponent's hand. Next up, we've got Drago. So not only is he EX, but you're able to trigger his ability with those 16 other Final Fantasy VI characters you've got in there when you don't count him in there. So his ability is going to trigger, and since you're going to try to slow down your opponent enough with all that discard, being able to bounce one of their more expensive forwards back to their hand that might have been a problematic blocker might just send them back a little bit too much for them to catch up. And also his special, if you pull it off, since you're slowing them down and they're not going to be able to put that many forwards out, 12k to sometimes only 1 forward on the field it just might be enough to just take it straight out. So Celis, she's great to slow down your opponent if they're playing off of only like 1 backup, for example. Or if you go to the mid-late game and you are able to get a Genesis or Setzer to dull freeze an opposing forward that is giving you problems, you can keep it locked down longer with the Celis ability. If they play any summons, you have 3 different ways to take care of summons. You've got Celis, you've got Cleone, and you've got Summoner. And so that's definitely one way to save you the game sometimes. So you're playing monsters and water, so Gao is a pretty good inclusion. You're able to pull off tricks also with Gao and Goblin, or Gao and Cleone and Realm, and just turning things into when they, like with the Cleone with Realm, you're able to draw a card when Cleone actually breaks. With Gao and Goblin, you're able to haste them out or haste somebody else out later on if you need to. Or most of the time, you'll probably just do the Tomberries just to get through blockers. But that surprise Goblin haste factor might win you some games, actually. Playing 16 other FF6 forwards, the Setzer is going to be able to just give your opponents fits by letting you just get card economy out of it, drawing you a card, or just fetching you that lock that you need, dull freezing an opposing forward, and then getting a lock and attacking with just a few forwards with party attacks and whatnot can be just what you need. Because keep in mind, this deck needs to go early to mid game. Go to late game, and this deck will have a lot of issues. So that Setzer into a powerful mid game play could steal the game. I've already gone over Goblin a couple times, so giving one of your forwards haste and drawing a card when you might run out of. Normally, if you play overly aggressive, you tend to run out of cards. That's kind of what happens when you don't play as many backups, as many, let's say, hypothetically efficient cards. There are efficient cards and efficient engines in this deck, and Mira and Goblin, as well as Sid backup, are a few of the value plays you have, and also Cleon. Sorry, I almost forgot about that one. So being able to draw cards sometimes is going to be able to just help you keep going with the aggro just enough to get you there to 7 damage. Buckaboo. There's a reason why this deck is called Buckaboo. Being able to play Buckaboo for 1, forcing your opponent to discard 2 cards to play any character, is just a huge amount of resources on their end, while very little on yours. Cleon for all kinds of tricks, with Realm being able to turn it into a 7k forward and then drawing you a card if it breaks, goes to the break zone, or being able to just stop your opposing summons. Tomberries is another part of this deck that is very key, because all of your forwards are on the smaller end, and you have no backups that give you a power boost. So it's all about Tomberries. When you're trying to trade up with something bigger, Tomberries and party attacks are going to be in the main way that you're going to go about it. Going over backups, Astrologian, pretty efficient, being able to, well, also, for example, pitch any spare water cards in your hand to reactivate Mira, so that you can go ahead and do the whole like Tomberries trick over again and get more copies of Tomberries. That's just not bad actually, but there's also other ways around it too. Being able to use Realm multiple times in a turn to turn multiple monsters into forwards sometimes can just help you get there. With Sid, you're able to get back any of your monsters. If you want a Goblin to hit on you guys, go ahead. If you want your Buckaboo to slow down your opponent because you're pretty far ahead, go ahead. Or hey, if you think your opponent's going to try to catch up with summons, get a Cleon back. Why not? And if your opponent, instead of using summons to try to catch up or get back into the game, instead of using summons or characters, if they want to use abilities instead, as long as they're not special, you can use what was it? Yeah, you could use Green Mage to be able to stop that. Jilnabat. So I highly doubt that your opponent. Sorry, I'm supposed to wake up right about now. So if your opponent is trying to go aggressive on you, I highly doubt that's going to happen too often. But if they do stabilize and try to sneak in a couple of points of damage, Jilnabat can really punish them. And also, if you're able to dull your opposing forwards with like Genesis or Setzer breaking, Jilnabat can keep it frozen for 1 more turn. Another way to stop summons with Summoner, and it's very efficient, 2 cost play, and after that, if you dull break, then you can stop some of the most annoying summons to this deck. So usually some of the most efficient combat tricks will be something akin to like Hecaton Care. So if you're able to somehow like just dull freeze or bounce a forward and try to get through it, they might try to Hecaton Cure. Like, okay, if you're doing a Mirage Dive and they're going to try to Hecaton Cure your lock, go ahead, crack that Summoner, stop those summons, because that's one of their main combat tricks. And if not that, then the Green Mage is going to be able to stop the abilities anyways. Next up, we've got Sid. As I mentioned, 18 Final Fantasy VI forwards. So Sid has his pick of the litter. Last but not least, Tom Betty, that little cutie can do so much work. You've got the Miras for your efficient plays and your Tomberries for your combat tricks. So hopefully you like this deck tech. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to go down below and to just post them up. Otherwise, I'm just going to remind you guys that I'd like to thank Magic Tech Games for sponsoring our channel. If you need any Final Fantasy TCG cards such as Opus 5, let's say Wall or Illua, or, well, I'm going to guess it's going to start getting popular. Some of the other cards like, well, this card, let's say Buckaboo, Foil Buckaboo perhaps. Go ahead, check them out. They're currently restocking Opus 5, and if not just for that, please subscribe to the channel. We just finished our we just sent out the message to the winner of the 400 subscriber giveaway, and we're moving on to our 500 subscriber special giveaway with your choice of the Lightning plushie, or if you like Magic, Horizon Canopy. Wait, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm okay. Sorry. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.